Well, hello, here we are, and I am super excited because today on Sex, Love, and Elephants, notice, by the way, the elephant behind me. I have a lot of beautiful friends, family, and meditation students who gift me with elephants, so they're everywhere. If you don't know why it's called Sex, Love, and Elephants, you can go listen to the earlier episodes, but basically, your elephant is your inner wisdom, and your inner wisdom brought you here. Okay, I'm very excited. What I'm going to do today is tell you why I do what I do, because I'm recording this in the end of September, and that means the most exciting month in terms of you working with me, getting free access to me, jumping on free Zoom Q&As with me once a year for 5 weeks, and it's kicking off today. I offer my very best new content. I bring you new videos. I show up on social media doing some live Q&As. It's a chance to work with me directly, to get a sense of what it's like to work with me directly, because drum roll, please, at the end of October, I'm opening the doors for the only time this year to my Become Passion program. That's my signature 10-week immersion online program where I coach couples live every week. It's anonymous. You do not have to be on camera. You can send me your questions privately and anonymously. You get an entire curriculum. This program has changed the lives and relationships of almost 500 couples so far. I began the program in 2020. I've offered it 6 times now. The seventh time, the seventh lucky group of couples, I'll be kicking off with on November 3rd. And it may be of interest to you. It is an extraordinary program. It is the culmination of my life work. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Why, oh, why do I have a signature online immersion program for couples? Let's go way back as a little girl. I wanted love to come along that would last a lifetime. I wanted to be swept off my feet, to be crazy in love and live happily ever after. The first love of my life was actually Donny Osmond when I was 6 years old. Maybe that's why purple is still my favorite color. If you don't know, he used to wear purple socks. That was his thing back in, I guess, the early 70s, maybe earlier, maybe 1970. But Donny was quickly replaced with my one true love at the time, Sean Cassidy, to do Ron Ron. Oh my God, I had the most explicit sexual fantasies about the actor Sean Cassidy from TV's Hardy Boys when I was like 10, 12, 13 years old. And I used to write them out. Luckily, I never sent them to him, or they'd be all over the internet. And would I be blushing now? Not to mention my husband. Anyway, the point is this: I wanted happy ever after. Happy ever after is a beautiful illusion. Happy ever after is a wonderful idea. And it doesn't exist in the way we absorbed it as a young kid, which is that when you find the one, there is no one, by the way, there's many. When you find the one, your soulmate. I do not agree with the idea of soulmates. There is no soulmate. I say kill the soulmate and save your relationship. But the myth is when you find the right person, the one, my person, and you commit to each other, things are going to be great. Like, you're going to go from there and things are going to be great. Everybody who has any maturity knows there might be a little bit of struggle, a little bit of power struggle, some weird arguments. Maybe one of you wants 3 kids and one of you only wants 2. But for the most part, what we're taught, and it's complete and utter bullpucky, is that if you find the right person and commit to them, relationship or marriage or commitment is going to be pretty great. The truth of long-term love can be much more dismal. And I'll remind you, by training, I'm a PhD, Fulbright award-winning psychologist, a sex therapist, and a Buddhist teacher. I won over $100,000 of awards for my academic work in my master's and PhD program. I was the top student in both my master's and PhD program in the entire country of Canada. So I'm a bit of a smarty pants. I was blessed with a very good brain. I trained at the top Ivy League medical school. I was accepted to Harvard Medical School, but I decided I didn't want to be a doctor. I wanted to keep understanding, or trying to understand, why we suffer so much in love, why it isn't easier to be happy in our long-term relationship. So I had my academic training, and then I had Buddhist training, and had training on emotions and your mind, and I still couldn't really explain, and nor could my brilliant professors why long-term love isn't easier. So I took it on as a major course of personal and professional study. And trust me, I've made all the mistakes out there. I married quickly in Greece, got divorced quickly after that. It was a great wedding, though. You know, the Mamma Mia wedding? I think I have a podcast on it. You can hear the details. We had the most amazing wedding in Greece. We eloped there. It was a blast. He was Greek Canadian, but it was a foolish choice. Only lasted a year or so, and we fought and fought and fought and went our separate ways. I've made almost all of the love mistakes possible because I'm a human being. Just because I'm really good at what I do. I'm really good at helping other couples dissect what's happening, figure out what they need to change, and giving them the actionable stepwise tools to help them move to where they want to be from where they are. That's what my Become Pro. We're going to edit that out and do it again. That's what my Become Passion program is all about, is giving you stepwise tools to help you master the art of being in love, to learn how to communicate about contentious topics in a way that gets you somewhere, to learn to forgive in a deep and mindful way that actually heals the wounds we sometimes purposefully or accidentally cause each other, to learn how to find your partner interesting, attractive, and fascinating again, to learn how to seduce your partner again and be seduced, what to do if you have low or no sex drive, what to do if, like, 30% of long-term couples, you don't make love at all, how to bring sexuality back. Those 450, 500 couples who've done me the incredible honor of investing their time, their heart, and yes, their funds in my program in the last 3.5 years have given the most extraordinary feedback. You can see that in the testimonial reel. You can go to the waitlist page below where you're listening to this podcast. You can go get a little information, a little video of me talking about what the program is, and you can watch a testimonial reel. We've got a brand new one coming out from all the new students soon. And some of the feedback is the following. We've seen 3 different couples therapists over the last 4 years, and we got more out of the first 3 lessons with Cheryl than we did with them. Over and over, the couples say they did couples therapy. They learned some stuff from it, but it wasn't consistent enough. It didn't give them the tools to work in their own life on their own stuff. They felt they were going round and round. And let me make it very clear. I'm not dissing the absolutely wonderful profession of couples therapy. I'm a huge fan. I've been in good couples therapy with my partner in the past. But what the research I've done and what the observations I've made and what the feedback of almost 500 couples are telling me is the way I designed Become Passion, my immersion program. You can get on the wait list right now. There's no obligation. But if you're on the wait list, you're going to get access to all the goodies I mentioned off the top today. That for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, I'm going to be teaching, sending out amazing videos. If you don't already get on my videos, get on the wait list and we'll put you on my video LoveByte list. That's an email you get every Tuesday into your email box. And I usually have a 5-minute video. You can also watch them on YouTube, but it's great to get it into your email box with like a weekly, I call them a LoveByte for a reason, a science-based tip or technique to give you something to do actively in a few minutes to improve your relationship. I've got amazing videos coming out this week. You'll want to see them all. Go get on that wait list. Let me again be clear. That doesn't mean you're going to choose to join the program, but when you're on the wait list, you'll get those videos. You'll also get exclusive VIP, what do you call them? Invitations. You'll get exclusive VIP invitations to some free Zoom question and answer sessions I'm going to offer. I've never offered those to the general public before. By the way, the Become Passion program is not offered on Zoom. You want to be confidential when you're working on your relationship, your ugly fighting style, your sexual differences, the fact that one of you still feels attracted to or in love with one of you and the other one doesn't. What do we do when the thrill is gone? What do we do when we've fallen out of love with the person we're with? There's no passion or excitement. We like them. We may even still love them like a friend, like a co-parent, like a roommate. How do we bring that back? That's the totality of the program. And what I hear over and over is the way I teach it, where I give you techniques and things to do on your own. So there's a whole curriculum. Here's how it works. Each week, you get sent some recorded course lessons of my program. I've got 8 different chunks of them, and you get one a week. We take a couple weeks off over the holidays to give you a break and give you a chance to catch up. So you have those videos, you have those trainings, you have those lessons with me the pre-recorded ones for the rest of your life. You can go back and watch them over and over again. Unlike couples therapy, where you might rehearse a great technique on communication or have a breakthrough in that session, but it often fades into the distance when you're back home. So what I've done, and this is based on learning theory, the top sex therapy research, the top couples communication research, the top couples therapy research, mindfulness and relationship and more. I'm a frickin' scientist. I did not make this up. I took the best that is out there, the best of my own 30 years of experience, and I put it into the curriculum. But that's only part of the power of this program. You get things to do each week. I build you steps in what I call the 3 keys to passion. You're going to hear a lot about those in the next month and a half. The 3 keys to passion are the 3 areas that every exceptional couple needs to become strong in. And most of us are weak in 1 or 2 of these if we're in long-term love. By the way, when I say long-term love, I mean together more than a couple of years. The 3 areas I call intimacy, thrill, and sensuality. Intimacy here does not mean a euphemism for sex. It means communication skills, conflict resolution, knowing your partner's got your back, having their back when things go wrong at work, understanding each other's hopes and dreams. Do you know the inner workings of your sweetheart's mind these days? Do you know what they're most worried about? Do you know what they're most excited about or looking forward to? Do you know how they really feel about their career these days? This is depth, psychological communication, relationship, intimacy. We could call it relationship friendship. It's profoundly important. Most couples aren't that great at arguing or resolving their big differences. We have repeated arguments. Research shows that about 60% of the things you argue about are what are called repetitive or ongoing problems. Sound familiar? You argue about taking the garbage out, or whether or not to have another child, or that one of you wants to move to a bigger or a smaller house, and you revisit it over and over. It feels circular. It's frustrating as hell. It feels like the argument's going nowhere. That's a type of arguing style most of us have. Whether we're ugly, nasty arguers, I can be sometimes. It's something I work on very hard to improve. It's a laid down template from my family, my childhood, and my own adulthood, and I'm not at all proud of it, but I'm also not ashamed of it. I'm not at all proud of it. It's something I diligently work on to fight fair. I teach you how to fight fair. I teach you how to understand your partner's point of view. It is very powerful. I build over the first 3-4 weeks of the program the ability to talk about anything with your partner, your biggest hot button issues effectively. Does that mean it's easy? Nope. There might be tears, there might be some anger, but you'll manage those states in a way that you don't lash out, you don't abuse, and you don't walk away. So that's intimacy in a nutshell, the first 4 weeks of the program. The next week or 2, I focus on the second side of my passion triangle, which I call thrill. And that one we all resonate with pretty quickly. Thrill is that falling in love feeling, butterflies in the stomach, can't wait to rip their clothes off, so excited. Remember early on, you went to meet them at a restaurant on your 3rd or 4th date. I remember my second date with my sweetheart. He found a tea shop. He knew I liked tea. And at the time I ate only vegetarian food, and they had vegetarian food and beautiful like English tea with scones and cream and jam. And oh, my mouth is watering. So I think he was there before me, and I, had to park and find the place. And I went in and I was looking through this little crowded, sweet tea shop, and I'm looking for my new man, my second date with this handsome fella. It's now my hubby. We'll do that again. Handsome fellow. He's now my husband. And you're looking and there's this sense of anticipation and excitement and laser focus, and you're really keen. And then you see them and everything lights up. Your heart gets tingly. You might get a little anxious. You might get a little turned on. That's thrill. The majority of us, not everybody, but the majority of us felt thrill in the early stages of the first couple of years even of our relationship. We were pretty crackers about our person. We were excited to see them. When they came over at the end of the day, we jumped out of our chair and went to greet them, gave them a hot kiss at the door. When's the last time you did that? Be honest. When's the last time you greeted your longer term partner with a hot kiss at the door where you were thrilled and excited to see them? What I teach my folks, it's fun and it's silly, but it will help you remember this. Have you ever had a dog? I've got 2 dogs. Well, only one now. One just passed away. I've got one beautiful dog. And my office we're in right now is upstairs from my home. It's a separate suite above my home. So when I go to work, I go out the door downstairs. I come up about 12 stairs out there and I come in my office door. Sometimes I forget something. This morning I forgot these glasses. These are my reading glasses. So I went to work. 90 seconds later, I came home. My dog had been laying down for about 75 seconds, thinking I was gone for a while. I come back. She flips out. She's so excited I exist. She's jumping. She's wagging her tail. She's just so freaking delighted to see me. That's thrill. I actually challenged the couples in my workshop, in my online program, in this immersive program I'm teaching once this year, kicking off November 3rd. I teach them to do that. I teach them to run to the door when they hear their sweetheart's key in the door and act like a dog whose owner's just, I'll do that again, and act like a dog whose owner has just walked through the door. Why? Because we get lazy, everybody. We get lazy, we get complacent, we take our partner for granted. We don't see them anymore for the exciting, beautiful, amazing, sexy, fascinating person they are. And that's our problem. That's in our head. That's us failing to get interested. So the second thing I teach for a couple of weeks in the program is effectively how to fall in love again with your mate, how to see them. Don't wait for the wake-up call. You know, the biggest damn wake-up call is a cancer diagnosis or an affair. These are the big two. Or some other major event, someone else's spouse is suddenly killed in a car accident. And you wake up and you realize how blessed and lucky you are to have this person. Don't wait for a wake-up call, because sometimes it's too late. Particularly if one of you has strayed and got your excitement and thrill outside of your relationship by having an emotional or a sexual affair. I don't condemn affairs in terms of, I absolutely work with people who are in affair recovery. Usually about 10% of the couples who join my program are in affair recovery. But what I mean is that's a huge wake-up call that a lot of couples cannot come back from. I applaud those of you who do, who commit to the larger truth of your long-term relationship, even if one of you has made that choice to stray, and you recommit and you rework through. And I'm more than happy to help you do that in the Become Passion program. That's a bit about thrill. And the third side to this passion triangle, I call sensuality. That's everything erotic and sexual. That's everything naked and everything from holding hands while you walk on the beach to snuggling and spooning while you watch a movie to stroking each other's back when you're sad to showering and bathing together. You have an entire body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. When's the last time you nibbled the back of your partner's knees? When's the last time you tried a new sexual position? When's the last time you seduced your partner or danced a sexy dance for them or did something crazy? When's the last time you kissed the way you used to kiss when you were first together? So to summarize my entire work, this podcast, and absolutely the Become Passion program, please join the waitlist if you want to hear more about it. You can decide if it's right for you. I do not do a hard sell, but if you join the waitlist, you'll get those exclusive invitations in October to some Zoom calls with me, some extra content. I may be doing some pretty cool stuff in mid-October, and that'll only be for people who are on the waitlist, sort of our VIP list. And then you can decide. You can taste what it's like to work with me in October. You can look at your relationship. You can say, are we willing to invest 3 months in learning in a way that has been proven effective? How effective? I have a money back guarantee. If 21 days into the program, when you've gone through the first 3 weeks of the material and you can show me you've done the work, you can tell me that this program will not be helpful for your relationship, I will give you your money back. And I've only done that 3 times in almost 500 couples. And each of those 3 people who asked for their money back, it wasn't about the program. 2 of them broke up between purchasing the program and 2 weeks in, they were in such crisis. And one of them, their partner started going back to sex trade workers and they said, I'm done. I'm not going to work on this relationship anymore. Oh, better do that again. We'll take it up from 3 times. 3 couples in almost 500 couples, only 3 couples. That's like less than 0.5%, asked for their money back. And in each of those 3 cases, it's because they actually chose to split up in the first couple of weeks of the program. One of them purchased it as a last-ditch effort to try to get their estranged partner to work on the relationship. Estranged partner says, nope, I'm out, I'm done. And so I didn't have to refund them because the refund's based on the program not being valuable. But out of compassion, of course, I refunded them. I say this because it's really important. It's really important for you to feel reassured that if this program is right for you, go for it. If it's not right for you at all, or I'm not right for you, no problem. But if you're not sure and you think you'd like to take the program, you might want to really consider investing because there is a money back guarantee. It's a no risk situation except for the big risk. If you don't work on your relationship, what's going to happen? You're smart. You know what will happen. It's going to either stay pretty much the same or get worse. Relationships don't improve by benign neglect. So the feedback I get from my beautiful couples is that certain of the techniques I share in that program were life-changing in terms of their ability to talk to each other about the tough stuff. Life-changing in terms of them able to forgive some past hurts. Life-changing in terms of finding each other attractive again, treating each other with what I sometimes call cherishment. Cherish your sweetheart. Make sure they know how bloody special they are before it's too late. And I've had so many couples who came into the program sexless. A clinically sexless relationship, the definition of that is making love 6 or fewer times a year. Probably 40 or 50% of you listening make love 6 or fewer times a year, depending on your age range, how long you've been together. But usually 20 to 30% of any population of longer term couples who've been together for at least a couple, 3 years are in a sexless relationship, including not having made love in months or years. I've had a big proportion of my couples, up to 40% with some intakes, that the part of the reason they joined the Become Passion program is that the sensuality side of their passion triangle is, as far as they know, dead. I have one couple, you can see their own story in their own words on the testimonial reel that's on that waitlist page if you go visit it. Norm and Cheryl, and they talked about how they'd had multiple affairs, ugly fighting, almost all the problems a couple could have. They've been together, I think, 50 years at that point. They were in their early 70s. They'd stopped making love in their 40s. They wanted more. They joined the program. They did the work, and they now have a sensual and sexual life after 30 years not having sex. Other couples, 5 years, 4 years, lesbian couples, LGBTQ couples, primarily there tends to be cisgender heterosexual couples in my program. Everybody's welcome. I love all love, whoever you love, however you love. If you're 2 people, or even 3, I could probably work with that. But if you're 2 people trying to walk through long-term love together, this program can really, really help you. So much a joy. So how did I come to have this program? Well, my background's varied. I was accepted to med school. I've got a science degree. I was an actor. I was an actor and an improviser. That's like improv comedy where you just get suggestions from the audience and you make it up. Can you tell? I was a bit of a performer in my previous life. And then I went the deep clinical psychology path, also Buddhism, meditation, trying to figure out the human condition, trying to figure out why long-term love is so hard. That's what my book, Buddha's Bedroom, is about. It brings together the Buddhist side, the meditation side, the mind training side with the sex therapy and couples therapy side. This has been my lifelong exploration since Donny Osmond, since Sean Cassidy, is to figure out long-term love. And I'm not going to say I've got it entirely figured out, but I am going to say that I spent a couple of years at the end of the 90s designing this program. We're going to redo that because it wasn't at the end of the 90s. I spent a couple of years I spent several years just before 2020 designing, recording, creating the Become Passion program. And that's the recorded part. You also get every week a live call with me. You're not on video. Who wants to be on video and talk about erection dysfunction or how you can be verbally abusive sometimes when you fight with your spouse? You send me your questions anonymously. We're in a platform like this where I'm on screen. Nobody else is. You can be entirely anonymous, but you get my answers, my coaching, and my help. So you've got the curriculum, which is like your entire training gym for fitness that you're doing. And then I come in and tweak your specific issues, and you get a chance to work with me in that way, live. Or of course, if you can't make a live call, we record them. You can watch them later and hear my answer to your question. The feedback has been extraordinary. I love what I do. The greatest joy of my year, and there are many, but one of the greatest joys is teaching this program once a year, jumping on for 90 minutes or so once a week, answering your heartfelt questions, helping you navigate through the pain, hearing your hope, hearing what you share, hearing how you bust open and learn and grow. One of my favorite stories from the last group from 1 year ago, I'll call them, I'll use their initials, M and L. M and L had been together 40 years. And she wrote to me in about 2/3 of the way through the program. She said, Dr. Cheryl, I've got to tell you, it's like I have a new husband. I am madly in love with this man. We've been okay, but unhappy for many years now. We had some pretty big problems. He has stepped up in ways that I can't believe. He's so much more romantic, attentive, happy. We communicate so much better. We're really investing in our sexual life. After 42 years, I'm falling in love with him again. I feel like I'm dating my husband. That one made me weep. How joyful, how beautiful is that? So that's what I wanted to bring you today. I wanted to bring you a tease and a heads up and how exciting it is to review. In the month of October, I'm going to be bringing you the best material about how to fix long-term love, how to work with communication issues, with not feeling attracted or inspired or in love with your partner, with your sexual issues. Even if your sex life is pretty decent, don't you want more? Don't you want to learn about some more erotic and dark sexual energy and so much more I also teach? Check it out. Get on the wait list. Join me. I'd love to meet you on Zoom. We'll be kicking those off in a week or two, and people on the wait list will get those invitations and the Zoom link to sign up. No obligation or anything like that. Just show up and talk to me. Let's have office hours with Dr. Cheryl. So that brings us to today's LoveByte. Great relationships are not an accident. They are created one breath, one passion triangle at a time. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back next week. I have all sorts of juicy goodies for you coming up in these weeks to come. Bye for now.